this is not the video I hoped I'd be filming this morning, but let's just get this done as quickly as possible, to be honest. England 1, Argentina 2. It's the final score after 90 minutes, and I'm absolutely gutted. I'm absolutely so disappointed, so let down by the way we let that go yesterday, the way we threw it away. I have to say, we threw it away. And this is a game, I did wonder, would the referees have a part yesterday? It's one of those games we can't even blame the referees or blame anything but ourselves. We completely was our own worst enemy there. We let them do that to us. And I think, so again, same old story of England, same old England. So close, but still so far. And that's what's so annoying about it, is we were so close. We was nearly there, even with the awful approach after going 1-0 up. We still nearly made it, and well, it's just so disappointing that we couldn't see that game out, because we had them. We had them where we wanted them, and we let that get away from us. And I mean, the reaction to the game itself. I mean, we started early on. I think that the time was set for the game. It was very scrappy early on, and I think on the build up, we kind of knew it would be like that. There was certainly a lot of, there's always tension between these teams because of not just because of the previous meetings, but because of obviously political circumstances as well. There's a real rivalry between the countries that's been heightened through football matches throughout the years, and it's been a long time since we played Argentina. So long, in fact, that Messi's actually never played. That was Messi's first game against England in his whole career, 39 years of age now. And before the game, you could hear the atmosphere. 30,000 England fans there, certainly a great turnout for England. Argentina usually dominate the support in every game that they play, and particularly in America, they've got a large population there. But this game, England, we had a great turnout ourselves, and before the game, the atmosphere was fantastic. I have to say, Argentina, their fans, certainly very loud, but both national anthems booed by both sets of supporters. Argentina obviously did it to us first, very much England doing it in retaliation, but that's the first time we've seen that at this World Cup, and you could certainly see, how nasty of an encounter it could turn into before the game. And very early on, it was scrappy. Both teams very much, Argentina, I felt, were certainly doing a lot of fouls, and I thought what was good is the referee was letting them go a bit. 2 fouls on Messi, usually they give them for him straight away. This referee didn't. There were some fouls that I thought it was 50-50, and the referee, didn't. The referee was great yesterday. Didn't make it about him. Went 50-50 on terms of the challenges. It could be quite a difficult game to referee in that first half as well. There were some that were not given for England that maybe should have been given, and some maybe the other way. I think he went 50-50 with the decisions. It was fair. It was a difficult game to referee. It's difficult to get every decision right, but he was fair with it. There was no favouring one team or the other, which was a lot. I will worry based on what we've seen so far in this competition, the way Argentina have gotten through certain games, but we cannot say that about the game yesterday at all. It was well refereed in that first half. Not really, the game eventually, more football was played in the second half. It was very much, it got to the point where there was a bit less fouling going on. But of course, early on, first sort of 20 minutes, first half hour really, I thought we were the better side, was on top. We was getting into a lot of good areas. We were certainly moving the ball well in attacking areas. Bellingham wasn't quite in the game as much as I maybe would have hoped, but eventually I think that did come, and we created some good chances in there, particularly that one from Stones was a good chance. Argentina, every now and then they had a good chance though, and they certainly looked to threat themselves as well. And I thought they finished the the first half of a really good spell. They certainly finished the first half better, and they obviously had that big the shot from Enzo where they thought should have had a corner. There's a few notable opportunities in that first half, a few at both sides, but the first half overall wasn't a great game in the sense that it was very stop-start. Neither team could really get much rhythm going. That's why I think we were sort of failing to take them on as much as I would have hoped, simply because it become so scrappy. Argentina says, I did wonder, Romero and Otamendi, if that was the back two, not much pace there, and Gordon really could have looked to exploit that. So I think that's why they put Lisandro Martinez in with Romero, which is, though it's not a natural partnership, it did seem to work for him in the end. But right at the start of the second half, Romero got a booking, and by that point, both of their centre-backs were on a booking, and that was really frustrating. We didn't even try and force them into challenges, because they was making challenges. They was fouling quite a bit in that first half, and in the second half, the players that did have on bookings, we didn't look to kind of play on that at all. But of course, going in at half time, very much game in the balance. It very much still felt like, yeah, this could go either way. It's what I thought it could be like, really, really tight, impossible to call. And well, the second half, once we eventually we started playing very well. By that point, was the better side was on top. We got the lead for it eventually as well, which I'm coming to. In terms of the team selection, they made a big call to play Rodgers not in his preferred position, but I thought he played very well overall. Bellingham, obviously starts, and Gordon keeps his place on the left, which is the right call. But Morgan Rodgers starting out right wing obviously suggests that Saka wasn't 100%. Neither Madueke, I think, didn't do enough really. I thought it was the right call. Rice fitness might not have been 100%, especially as he was taken off early again, but didn't look quite as disjointed as the other day. Him in there looks certainly better, but he certainly could have still been not 100%. Reece James, I thought, played decent, but again, for me, I still didn't think he looked 100% right either. And then, of course, Jed Spence side. Again, I have to say, Jed Spence is a player I want to talk about because he was absolutely fantastic yesterday. Really, really stepped up, and Tuchel really did do well with him in the sense that how he, Tuchel, at times, we'll come to the mistakes he made in this game, but overall in the tournament, he did the, after the Norway game, a lot of people praised his approach, his still calling for improvement. And then the thing with Bellingham, then a lot, and actually the whole thing with Bellingham, really, how he's managed that situation, dropping him from the team, and then I think we've really seen a mentality shift from Bellingham coming into this tournament, which is why we've seen such a big tournament from him. And I have to say, he's done a good job with Jed Spence as well, because it's, in the end, he looking alright off the bench in the early parts of the tournament, certainly an impact player. Didn't do great against DR Congo, but then off the bench against Norway, fantastic. And in this game, he really, really played with so much confidence, so much flair. It was brilliant, and really, really sort of stood up to the Argentinian challenge in the sense that he didn't mind the physical nature of the game, didn't mind putting the challenges in. He does that fantastic challenge in that first, after we went 1-0 up as well. And the goal itself was so well worked because we see a good ball forward from Kane, and we see the failed to clear properly Argentina, and instantly we pounced on that. We started to do what we was not doing enough of in the first half, which was pressuring them, putting them under, just putting them under pressure, trying to force them into mistakes. And from there, Rice gets it up right to Rodgers. There's a fantastic assist for Rodgers, and Gordon brings it down nicely and slots it home. And we go 1-0 up. This is just such a fantastic feeling. We're thinking this is amazing. When this goal went in, where I live, you could hear the whole street cheering. It was fantastic, and it's just such a shame that what happened next happened, because at this point everything was going so well, and after we kicked back off again, I think, okay, we can go on and get a second here. That looked more likely than then scoring, to be honest. We had them where we wanted them. The game was going exactly to plan. We was the better side, was having more of the ball, was moving the ball better than them. And it could have got to the point where they could have got really desperate, but of course they don't. Argentina, they never seem to panic. They never seem to be beaten, really. They're one of them teams, but we sat too deep too soon, and this is what all the talk is about. This is where Tuchel will get ripped to pieces, and this is where we got it so wrong. This is where, I've sung Thomas Tuchel's praises this tournament, but he got it so wrong here. I'll call him out. No matter how much I like a manager, I will call them out when they get something wrong. And straight away, so negative, so defensive. We went 1-0 up in the World Cup semi-final, having been on top, been the better side. And we panicked. We went 1-0 up and panicked. That's what I don't understand. We went 1-0 up, then started playing with fear. It was like players lost all the confidence. It was like, no, we're not actually going to be able to do this. We went 1-0 up, and then straight away, the best part of the half's left. I mean, we went 1-0 up with 35 minutes to play, and instantly we sat deep and started defending, and slowly but surely they started to come on to us more and more and more, and we just did not get out. We did not leave players up. When we were clear, there'd be no one there, no outlet, no one to run, no one to try and form an attack, which we could have tried to do because they had to force more men forward. They had to really go for it, and we didn't. It wasn't long before Anthony Gordon, the goal scorer, was taken off for Ezri Konsa, and we went to a back five, and this is where Tuchel got it wrong. Too negative too soon. It was still too, do that with 5 minutes left. Maybe if you go 1-0 up, it makes sense against Mexico. We're playing with 10 men. We got it right that day. But then against Norway in extra time's a bit different. We go 1-0 up. Kind of makes sense then, but this just made no sense. What were we thinking? What were we doing? And we just let them back into the game. And slowly but surely they made their subs as well, attacking subs. And I think squad selection got exposed a bit here as well. No Cole Palmer, no game changer off the bench. We saw the options they had off the bench. We've not been an issue so far, but when we come up against another top side that have got these options off the bench, we really, really got found out. Gonzalez off the bench was fantastic. When he come on for Paredes, he completely changed that game. All of a sudden, they looked so threatening in that area, and everything was coming down that right-hand side. That's been a problem the whole tournament, of course. Enzo was getting into so many good positions, kept shooting, kept letting him get the shots off. We kept backing off of him. No one was closing down. No one would. We was doing nothing about that. We could see it coming as soon as we went 1-0 up and we started sitting deep. We just was waiting for it, and we played to hold on. It was a case. It was either the substitutions we made. There was no options. It was either we would we hold out for the 1-0 or we're going to lose because we just got no attacking options anymore. We just got no attack left pretty much. We took the whole attack off really. Kane and Bellingham up there by themselves, so we have to sit so deep because the whole team was getting dragged so far back because of the negative approach. And then eventually 85 minutes, the goal comes from Enzo. You know, the shot, no one closes him down, and takes the goal really well. And from there, we're just waiting to concede. We're thinking, okay, even if we get it to extra time, we'll probably lose in extra time. I knew when that, as soon as the equaliser went in, I knew we'd lose. At that point, we're holding on. You think, never know, maybe we'll hold on, but they're just getting so close that it just wasn't going to happen. We had Pickford making a fantastic save. McAllister was having some chances as well, and then he obviously hit the post before they took the lead in the 92nd minute after the lengthy stoppage time that was 9 minutes in the end, but it went on a bit beyond that. Of course, the ball comes in from Messi after the clearance, and then Lautaro Martinez off the bench, and this is what I mean. They made this another player come off the bench and impact player, and look at the difference that made, and he gets the winner. And from there, England, we chucked effing at it. Tony comes on now, which is literally the only option we really had now because the attack was just the substitutions were wrong, the approach was wrong, it's too negative, and we tried to force the equaliser, but it was never going to come from there. They was always going to see the game out Argentina, and I have to say, you know, they never seem to be beaten. They're one of those teams that make the final again. But we really, really let that get away from us, and I'm so disappointed with how it finished in the end. And as for so many people, it's just the same old story. It honestly felt like it could be different this time around after the Mexico game, but that wasn't to be. It'll be interesting to see now what happens with Thomas Tuchel. Will he stay? Will he go? It's a shame because he got so much right in this tournament because he got it so wrong yesterday. And, well, yeah, I'm so disappointed. It'll be Argentina-Spain in the final. England were in that third place playoff. I can't say I'm particularly optimistic about. I'm particularly excited for that. Obviously, I hope England win, but I don't particularly care if we don't. I'm not going to lie. I can't get particularly excited about that. Yeah, absolutely gutted. I thought, Argentina, they've got mentality, and I think, we've shown good mentality in this tournament so far, but I think the different levels of it were shown yesterday. Argentina back-to-back Copa America champions and looking to go back-to-back in the World Cup. They've now made the final back-to-back. They've just never really been beaten in this tournament, even if they deserve to be. And yeah, so poor yesterday after going 1-0 up. So such a shame.